W.E.B. Du Bois, presented by Timothy Coe. Early life and summary. W.E.B. Du Bois was born on February 23, 1868 in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, and he died on August 27, 1963 in Accra, Ghana. Throughout his life, he was an American sociologist, historian, author, editor, and a Black American activist leader and protester. He was one of the most important and prominent figures in Black American society and in the NAACP. He graduated from Fisk University and he majored in history, the social sciences relating to Black Americans, and the connection between different races of all sorts. Later on, he moved to Nashville, Tennessee in his early adulthood to a Black university called Fisk University, which I covered earlier, and he naturally had an affinity for editorials and magazines, as shown because he was very quickly hired as the editor for his student magazine, Herald. After graduating from Fisk University, he attended Harvard University and further pursued his American history, where he received an advanced degree and earned a PhD at the University of Berlin. A fun fact is that Du Bois was the first Black American to receive a PhD. It was very surprising for him to get into Harvard University, let alone receive an advanced degree and a PhD, because many Black Americans and African Americans struggle with getting into top schools, and especially a school like Harvard, due to their race and skin color, which is very sad during the Harlem period. Significance in the Harlem Renaissance. After graduating from Harvard University, he devoted most of his time and work and investigations to the social sciences of the African American and Black race, and he even went as far as to publish a variety of research monographs pertaining to each topic. 17 years later, in 1914, Du Bois took a professional teaching position in Atlanta University, and he helped edit and publish his famous social study, The Philadelphia Negro. After coming to the realization that the solution to ending racism isn't so easy, Du Bois came up with the idea to protest against Black discrimination by writing books and stirring unity among other Blacks. Thus, they created The Souls of Black Folk, which was a collection of different essays and writings about Black and African American lives. Further elaboration on this, The Souls of Black Folk. The Souls of Black Folk was a medley, aka collection, of different essays and writings on the problems that Black people have had to face that oppose Booker T. Washington's ideas of the right way to protest and end racism, stating that the only way to end this discrimination is through protest and standing up for the right causes. Booker T. Washington, to further elaborate, was another American Black leader and protester. However, he had different ideas opposing that of which Du Bois had. His methods, certainly not intellectually, were passive-aggressive to say the least, and he mainly focused on more ideas of standing up with protests and sometimes with violence. The Niagara Movement. In 1905, Du Bois took the leading position in the Niagara Movement, which was a civil rights and political movement that called for fair social rights for Black African Americans. This was named the Niagara Movement after the leading figures in the movement decided to secretly meet under Niagara Falls. Du Bois' role in the NAACP. Along with the Niagara Movement, Du Bois also assisted in helping and creating the NAACP, being the key figure, or one of the key figures, who established and paved the way for essential African American rights. Furthermore, Du Bois also edited their main magazine called The Crisis, which covered many problems, topics, issues that African Americans have had to face in their daily lives. The crisis highlighted many of the racial injustices and discriminations in its era and encouraged many protests after it was released, and it was one of the key leading factors for the upcoming black justices and their political rights. Du Bois' lasting impact on the Harlem Renaissance. Du Bois' lasting impact on the Harlem Renaissance was a flourishing and culturally awakening point during its era. His medley of essays, Souls of Black Folk, and his editorial of the crisis were able to shape the Harlem Renaissance not only intellectually, but also from the viewpoint of an African American and their civil and political rights. Du Bois' emphasis on the daily problems and lives of the African Americans helped put a spotlight on many overlooked things in the Harlem Renaissance society, and without him, many African Americans would have not existed today in terms of their rights. His key role in the NAACP also gave insight into the Black Americans' lives of Black education, jobs, lifestyles, and overall well-beings. By putting the spotlight on these basic human rights, W.E.B. Du Bois was able to pave the way and made a lasting impact on not only the Harlem Renaissance period, but also to African American civil, political, and social rights that they have today. Du Bois was one of the key leading figures in shaping the Harlem Renaissance society and was a lasting impact truly onto the era and rights that African Americans have today. Here's my works cited page. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation.